Hi, Terry Michael, the Bible lady. I hope you had a blessed Palm Sunday. This is a very special season. Easter is one of the holiest, as well as Christmas. And I'm here in the Bible Beltline. I'm visiting my sister, and it's really exciting because I found out that the Bible Beltline it's incredibly filled with history about the church, and it's awesome. So Google it. I Googled it. I looked it up to see what it was all about and loved what I read. You'll have to look it up. Today we're going to talk about upside down tables. Jesus arrived with great fanfare. Immediately he went into the temple. Remember we talked about last week, he rode the colt into Jerusalem and they strewn the pathway with everything, all the palms and their coats. Well, when he went into the temple, he found that they were selling the shekels. For shekels, they were selling the pigeons, and the money changers were exchanging the money, but they were asking for more than they should have. So it could have been something like this. Let's take a look at what that could have sounded like. 2 shekels, 2 shekels, a money changer cried. Look, another offered, tugging at Jesus's garment. The bleating of the sheep and the odor of livestock, it must have permeated the air. Maybe his eyes darkened and his back straightened. He lunged, grasped forward. He grasped the edge of the table. You're back, he shouted, because he had cleansed the temple once before. He hurled the table and moved toward the next. It's written, my house shall be called the house of prayer. That's in Matthew 21. You haven't learned anything. This is the house, not a house to do as you wish. You've made it a den of thieves, for you not only trade at the entrance of the holy temple, but you make false weights and measures. Get out, you thieves, you robbers. Oxen and sheep must have went flying and running through there, and doves screeching wildly. Some attempted to barter as they scurried from his presence. Jesus might have drawn a deep breath, watching them as they fled. What will it take for them to listen? Master, yes, what is it? There are many outside which have desired to enter the temple, but have not been able to for all the traffic. Jesus, turning slowly, his eyes catching sight of the blind and lame, he may have walked into the temple and called out behind him, bring them to me. The time is short. Small children scampered into the temple after him, laughing. That's just a small offering of what that may have been like when Jesus went into that temple. But there's a lot to be said about Jesus cleansing the temple. He was going to be sacrificed. And was he cleansing it in preparation, or was it a symbol of what we should do? First of all, there was no worship there. They were selling, taking advantage of the Passover that was taking place for a price that was hiked up. And you can coordinate that with scriptures in Isaiah 56, 7 and 8, that he said it was a house of prayer. Isaiah did, and in Jeremiah 7:11, he said you had made it a den of robbers. And let's look at something else. What about all of you temples out there? And what about me, my temple? We're believers. Corinthians 3:16 says, do you know and understand about the church? You are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells permanently in you, collectively and individually. So what does that say? What does your temple look like today? Let's look at that. Are there pigeons flying around? I hope not. You see, the first commandment says, worship the Lord your God and serve only him. And remember, Jesus was tempted when he went into the wilderness. And he quoted that. He said, you shall worship the Lord your God only, because that's the first commandment. God has to be first. Are we worshiping him, or are we worshiping things like money, selling things, gaining for ourselves? Is that what we're doing? It's apropos to be in the Bible Belt line and ask, how's your temple? I think it fits right in. And I'll ask you this question too. And maybe some of you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't know how do I become a temple? Well, you can very easily. You can be a temple of God just by asking him to come in. I hope you do that today, because that would really make a great Easter. Next time, I'm going to be talking about Jesus' journey to the cross. And there's so much to cover, so much. I hope you'll join me. God bless and happy Easter.